everyone, it's Debbie. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back. If you're new here, I'm a reseller. I've been reselling for 17 and a half years and I absolutely love it. And today I have a what sold video. I'm going to share some items that sold the week of March 20th through 26th, 2022. It was a pretty mediocre week, but within that mediocre week, I had a few really good sales, so I'm going to share those with you. I sold a total of 27 items for a gross amount of $584.89. We will start on eBay because I have the most sales on eBay. I sold 15 items for $401.01. The first item was a pair of Levi's 501 high-waisted denim shorts. They had a button fly, a raw hem. I put the style number on them because when I searched sold comps and saw the items that sold for the highest amount, some of them had that style number on there, so I thought I'm going to put that on mine also. They sold for $27.89. My earnings were $17.91. I paid just $4.69 at my local Goodwill. They took 4 months and 3 weeks to sell, and my profit was $13.22. So I listed these in November and they just now sold. A lot of times I will list items far ahead of the season so that they're ready to go when the season hits. The next item was in a recent haul. This was the Kate floral embroidered shirt, swing tunic, long top, white with colorful embroidery. I saw a lot of people put Athleta on it. I searched and searched to see if they were related and I could never come up with anything exactly. However, the interior tag did have the Athleta symbol, so I think that they are related. It sold for $27.54. My earnings were $16.86. I paid just $2.99 at my local Goodwill. It took 3 weeks to sell and my profit was $13.87. The next one, I was thrilled when this one sold. This was the vintage Mary Poppins Horseman 1960s dark hair doll. I also put stockings, shoes, dresses, bag. And when I found this one, it just looked like it was probably vintage. I couldn't really find a name on it. On the back of the head, I found an H, but I didn't know what that meant. So what I did to research this item while I was in the store was I just took out my phone, used Google Lens, took a quick photo of it. I was able to pull it up immediately and found out that the brand was Horseman. And then later when I was home, I looked inside the purse and sure enough, it did say the word Horseman. So I rely on Google Lens all the time for being able to quickly look up information while sourcing. It sold for $48.34. My earnings were $32.30. I paid just $2.60 at my local Goodwill. It took 20 days to sell and my profit was $29.70. So wow, what a great return on investment. That sale had me so excited that I did a quick search on eBay of sold comps to see what sold for the highest amount in the last 90 days. And that way I would be familiar with those items if by chance I came across them when out thrifting. And one thing that I noticed on these really high selling dolls was that most of them sold at auction and some of them had a lot of bids. That is what I do if I have an item that I think is valuable, but I'm not sure how much it will actually sell for. I will start it at a price that I am good with if it sells for that amount. If I'm not okay with it selling for $100, I don't start it at $100. If I think, okay, I'm okay with this selling for $500, that's where I will start it. Then I let the market decide what it's worth, and if it is worth $1,000, then it will get bid up to that. And that is one of my favorite things about reselling. When I find an item, I think it might be worth a lot, but I'm not sure. I send it out to auction and it gets bid up higher than I even expected. That is just so much fun. But dolls can be worth a lot of money, so don't skip on them when you are out thrifting. Be sure you take a moment to look through them because some of them can sell for a lot of money. The next one I had for a really long time, but it finally sold. This was a new, and I also put NIP, new in package, Harbor Breeze Universal Fan Blades. I put the model number. I also put the keywords ceiling, reversible, oak, and white. These sold for $36.83. My earnings were $19.72. I paid just $4.99 at my local Goodwill. They took 2 years and 6 days to sell, and my profit was $14.73. And thank goodness I used the custom SKU line and have an inventory system to put where they were, because I put these in the back of a closet where I had no memory of putting them. I hadn't seen them in a couple years, but thankfully I have an inventory system and I put on there where they were, so I was able to go right to them and find them. And they might have taken 2 years. They had so much activity. I sent out so many offers on these ceiling fan blades, but nobody ever accepted. Finally, the right person came along, so I'm so glad these finally sold. The next item was another great sell. This was the 1965 Vintage Webster's New 20th Century Dictionary. I put English Language Unabridged. This was a really beautiful book and it was in great condition. I did put on there that a little bit of the binding was loose at the top, and whenever it is something vintage, it's okay if it has a few flaws. You just want to be sure and note them, take photographs if possible, and things like that still sell very well, even if they have a few flaws. I think it's understandable that when something is that many years old, that it might have a few flaws. It sold for a gross amount of $52.38. My earnings were $31.80. I paid just $1 at the Friends of the Library book sale, which I've talked about several times. It took 1.5 months to sell, and my profit was $30.80. And this one went medium mail, so although it was big and it was heavy, the shipping was really reasonable since it was able to go medium mail. I looked at my shipping label history to show you exactly how much it cost me to mail this media mail. It was $9.49. I pretended like I was going to print another label, and it has in there that it was 12 pounds. The dimensions were 15 by 15 by 18. So it was an oversized package. So let's just see how media mail pricing compares to other shipping methods. You will see regular priority mail would have been $52.30. And I'm scrolling through and showing you a few of the other options for those dimensions and weight. Media mail saves so much money. So if you do sell books, be sure you look at media mail as an option because it is very inexpensive. Just a quick reminder, if you are not subscribed, I would love to have you back. Just hit the subscribe button down below, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you'll know when I release new videos. On Poshmark, I sold only 11 items for $152, and Poshmark is still a roller coaster. I will go like 3 or 4 days without a sale. Hardly any activity, and then again I'll have a day where I make several sales, think it's back, and then it's back to dead again. So I'm still on the Poshmark roller coaster, but I'm still giving it a chance. There have been things on eBay where sales are a little slower and then they pick up, but nothing ever like this. This is lasting for so long, but I still have my listings out there. I'm still adding new listings. I'm still sharing, and I'm hoping eventually gets back to where it was. The first item that I'm going to share is a new with tags PacSun Latte high-waisted boyfriend carpenter shorts size 25. They sold for $19. My earnings were $10.92. I paid just $3.78 at PacSun. They took 3 weeks to sell, and my profit was $7.14. And that's not a lot, but they were multiple quantity. I probably picked up about 10 pairs. So it is very quick to list that way. You don't have to take multiple pictures. So maybe that one only made $7.14, but it takes almost the same amount of time to list all 10 pairs as it does just one pair. And I'll end up profiting around $70 for that short amount of time. The years that I have made the most money is when I have had a lot of multi-quantity listings. The next item was an item that somehow I thought I was out of stock, then I was going through my inventory and saw that I still had one. When that happens, I change my title and I put back in stock at the beginning. Then I put small, new with tags, Free People, Erin, Neo, Plunge, Scuba, Bralette in Mooncake, which is a light pink. It sold for $17. My earnings were $10.92. I paid just $4.52 from from Fox Liquidation, and after updating the quantity back to 1 and changing the title to back in stock, it took just 4 days to sell, and my profit was $6.40. And again, not a lot, but that was multi-quantities. I probably had 20 of those, so the listing was very quick, and I won't just make $6.40. I will make that $6.40 over and over and over again, and really the work in it is mainly just the shipping, which is very quick and easy. The next one was a viewer sale, and this was Amy. Amy has purchased from me before, and I talked about Amy one time. I went to my P.O. box, and I had a gift from her, a cute little lug bag, and she was so sweet. She was shopping my closet. She was asking me about this vintage cap and about another shirt, and so of course I sent her a really low offer. I would not have normally sold these for this low, but because it was Amy, I wanted to give her a really good deal. The first one was the vintage Union Tag Newsboy wool hat, dress cap, cabbie, extra large golf houndstooth. I paid just $3.24 at the regular Goodwill 1 month and 18 days ago. The next item I found at the bins, and I was so excited when I found this because I could just tell when I picked it up that it was vintage from the material, the tag. It was like a purple plaid with lace trim. It was so pretty. I paid bins pricing, so it was approximately just 80 cents. Amy bundled these together, and I sent her an offer for $20. She accepted. I received back $13.32. My cost of goods was $4.04, and my profit was $9.28. I wanted to share these to tell Amy, thank you so much. And these are both items to look out for though. Vintage caps like that can do really well. That pattern, that Union tag, I always look up the tag, and I use Vintage Fashion Guild to try to date it. I put that information in the listing. Here are a few examples of similar vintage Levi's plaid shirts that have sold for a great amount on Poshmark. And I saw one at the bottom that had sold for $70 that looked similar to mine. So I looked at it, and that is what I normally always do when I'm researching an item. I will find one that has sold for really high. The tag looked the same as my tag looked. So I would go into it, I would read more information, see what they said about it. I also liked how at the bottom they didn't just say what size their mannequin was, they actually gave the measurements of the mannequin. So I might start using that. I think that is a great idea. And then I liked that listing, so I clicked on sell similar and then list now, and it pulled up a draft where I can just fill in the information to create my listing. The top didn't actually fit her, but she was able to give it to her mom. So I thought that was so nice. So thank you so much again, Amy. I appreciate your support and your friendship so very much. The next item was an item that I listed back in March, and I thought, I see all these people listing swimsuits and they don't even put the actual item in it. And so I thought on this one, I'm just going to try it. I'm going to put the stock photo and description and see if it sells. Well, it took a really long time to sell. It took a year to sell. And I decided I did not want to do that. I want to put my actual photos in there. I think that is important. I just did that on a whim just to see if it would sell. And it took a really long time to sell, but it still sold. This was the Ralph Lauren Triangle Halter Bikini Top size 4. It sold for $21. My earnings were $14.12. I paid just $1 1 year ago, and my profit was $13.12. Next, I had the BOC Born Comfort Sandals Double Strap Leather size 7. They sold on an offer for $12, which is so low. I know I could have sold it for more, but this Poshmark thing where I'll go days without sales and then I'll get a low offer in and I will just take it because I'm so desperate for sales. I need to stop doing that because I put the work in, and I know this brand can sell for more. It's just right at the start of sandal season. So that was probably a mistake. I think I'm going to stop taking those low offers. I'm working on getting everything crossed over to eBay and hold out for a more decent price. They sold for $12. My earnings were $9.05. I paid $6.60 in a ThreadUp rescue box. They took 6 months and 11 days to sell, and my profit was $2.45. On Mercari, I sold one item for a gross amount of $31.88. These were so pretty. They were Allegria Wedge Slide Sandals. Lynn was the model name. Multicolored embroidery leather sandals. They were size 39, which would be equivalent to a 9. They sold for $31.88. My earnings were $17.12. I paid just $5.62. Another ThredUp rescue box. That was my fourth ThredUp rescue box. Listed these originally on September 23rd. I finally cross-listed them to Mercari, and they sold within 5 days of cross-listing them to Mercari. So I'm glad I did. I found shoes sell really quickly for me on Mercari. I think that's been one of my best performing things on Mercari. And my profit was $11.50. Now, to go over my numbers, I sold a total of 27 items for a gross amount of $584.89. I received back in the bank $373.41. My total cost of goods was $76.26. And my profit was $297.15. On eBay, I sold 15 items for $401.01. After postage and fees, I received back $253.77. My cost of goods was $40.60, and my profit was $213.17. On Poshmark, 11 items for $152. After fees, I received back $102.52. My cost of goods was $30.04, and my profit was $72.48. On Mercari, I just went over that, the one item for $31.88. When I looked at where my items came from, out of the 27 items, 13 of them were thrifted, 8 were retail arbitrage, and 6 were liquidation. So that is everything that I have for you today. If you enjoy What Sold videos and wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up, I would appreciate it so much. And if you're not subscribed and would like to join me again, I would love to have you back. Just hit the subscribe button down below, and if you hit the notification bell, it will let you know when I release new videos. Thank you so much for watching, and everybody have a great day. Bye!